Hi, Fit Moms. Welcome to day 4 in the Arise series. And today we're talking about exercise and how to break free from excuses that maybe keep you from doing it daily or most days of the week. You all know that I'm really excited for next week. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then make sure you go listen to the first 3 episodes in this Arise series because we're getting close. We are gearing up for the Arise Intensive that starts next week, where my goal is that you leave next week with that empowerment that you're maybe feeling throughout this series, but even more so, where you're like, yes, this is the time of my life where I am changing. I am no longer going back to my old ways where I'm thinking about weight and struggling with energy and all those things. I am arising to higher levels of health for His glory so that I can live out my kingdom purpose here on earth. Because let's face it, we are living in a time of great darkness. We need the revival of souls and we need the revival of bodies to be a part of that, where we as Christians are the healthiest people physically on earth too, so that we can do His good works, so that we have the confidence and we have the zeal and the energy for life to just do the thing we're called to do, which I can tell you from experience, because I know that this is my call. I know with confidence that God has created me to restore health, to restore this part of what the enemy has broken. And I can tell you with utmost confidence that when you are living out the call on your life with all of those things we've mentioned, the confidence and zeal and all that, there is hardly a greater joy. I had a great job. I was living, what seemed like a comfortable life. But when I stepped out of my comfort zone, when I started living out this dream that God put in my heart, I love working. I love my clients. I love helping women to experience breakthrough like they have never had before. So, all that to say, I hope you're just as excited as me to arise this week and next week in our intensive. Go sign up. It's only $47. You get lifetime access to all the things and you get some new friends and we get to hang out. So I will see you inside Arise. Let's jump into today's podcast. Hey, welcome to the Kingdom Fit Moms podcast, where we believe that you can go on a journey to lose weight for the last time. I know you've tried all the things and you may not believe me yet, but when you do weight loss the Kingdom Fit Moms way, everything changes. You're in the right place if weight is constantly on your mind, you're confused about food, you're missing out on memories, and maybe even putting your dreams off for another day because this weight struggle is no joke. We're a community and we're on a mission to invite God into this weight loss journey so you can shed the burden and shine your light. I want you to start living and believing in the version of yourself that heaven sees. Let's get started. Okay, I've said this before, but I want to again emphasize how cool it is when women really start to gain strength physically. Almost every time I see something shift in their spirit, because when your body is strong, you start to feel invincible, and it's like something within your spirit man rises up and you just want to keep going in both of these arenas. And you just are feeling more confident and emotionally well, and all that to say, exercise is incredible, and strength training and doing movement that you love is really incredible. So as we approach this topic today, I want you to take that have to mentality that maybe you are experiencing, maybe not, maybe you love exercise and you're just struggling to do it consistently. But if you feel that have to mentality, I want you to start speaking in a way where you say, I get to do this, because it's such a privilege and an honor to move our bodies and to be strong and to do God's work here on earth. And if you want even more motivation, go read The story in the Bible about Elijah when he ran faster than chariots, I remember reading that in my BSF group last year. And I was I was like calculating how fast his mile would be and how many miles he ran. And I was so fired up because I love when things in the Bible pair up with things that have to do with our physical bodies. Okay, so let's dive in even more. So, exercise excuses. We talked about some excuses earlier in the week about making ourselves a priority, but specifically with exercise. A lot of women tell me that they just feel too tired, which again, if you have little kids or maybe you're working or whatever that is, I totally get it. Maybe you just don't have motivation. Maybe you feel overwhelmed with where to begin. Maybe you've never been an exerciser. You don't have that label, and so it's hard for you to even imagine getting started. And maybe you're just really busy. So with all of those things, I think it's important to start small and recognize that you don't have to take on the identity of like a weightlifter or a CrossFitter if you're just getting started. You can just be an exerciser, which just means that you move your body in a purposeful way in order to increase strength or mobility or stamina, any of that. So you don't have to conquer everything at once. Again, if you want some more motivation in this, and I've talked about Katie a lot lately because we just interviewed her on the podcast a few episodes ago, but she, when we first started talking about her joining us in the Fit Moms Accelerator, she recognized the value of getting her physical body in alignment with what she was doing with her emotional, spiritual health, but she had always just thought that she was not athletic, that she couldn't do hard things with her body, and so she just accepted that as a part of, her story. And if you go listen to her testimony, she shares that she is now running, she is biking, she is an exerciser, and she's just getting started. So I can't wait to see what comes of this journey. But my point in all this is she took bite-sized steps to get there. She wasn't trying to run on day one. It literally took her about a year. So don't bite off more than you can chew. I think it's also helpful to identify, why are you doing this? Why do you want to exercise? Is it because your kids are little and you can see that maybe by the time they're 7 to 10, they're going to want to be playing sports and you want to help coach them? Maybe you want to keep up with your family on the vacation activities. Maybe you are on the verge or you have grandkids and you want to be able to be a fun grandma and get on the floor and go on adventures and babysit with them and play outside of the park or whatever that is. Maybe you want your clothes to fit better. Maybe you feel like, not yourself and you want to go back to feeling fit and strong and you just enjoy the way that feels. So think about your motivation. Again, don't just jump into some random program without knowing why you are doing it. And then if you need help, maybe you can say like, hey, I want to be able to run a 5K with my friend. And so then we can pick an appropriate exercise program that helps you to get there, to cross train, to get stronger, and then of course to start running or to improve your running time. The next thing I'll say is to pick an exercise routine that is sustainable. I am guilty of this. Sometimes I am a really good planner and then my implementation is not always great because I bite off more than I can chew with the amount of exercise or, just the intensity. And so if you want to be consistent, especially if you're just getting started, I want you to pick a goal that you are 90% sure you can achieve. So if you're not exercising right now, I just want you to start, maybe you're just starting with walking and that walking is 10 minutes a day. I want you to look at that goal and say, okay, am I pretty confident I can do 10 minutes a day? And be real with yourself. Don't start by saying, oh, I could totally walk for an hour a day if you're not doing that at all right now, because then it goes down the cycle of you failing and you feeling bad about it and feeling incapable, and then we just freeze up and we do nothing. So for consistency, pick a goal that you can achieve. Pick a time where you are likely to achieve it. If you are not a morning person, then don't commit initially to getting up an hour early if that's not realistic. Maybe it's 10 minutes early, 15 minutes early to start. Pick a time of the day, pick a certain amount of time, and then again, pick a program that matches up with your fitness level so that you don't feel overwhelmed and you don't feel incredibly sore. So sore. How many of you have done this where you feel so sore that you just basically throw in the towel because you can't do the next workout, right? So again, if you need suggestions, you can ask those type of questions. What are other women doing inside of our Kingdom Fit Moms free Facebook group? So go check that out and you can ask questions. You can share what you're doing, give tips, all that, because we really want this to be a community where you can share those things. Okay. Once you get on the ball, we know that obstacles will come your way. Sometimes your schedule will change. So you could go back to the time management podcast this week. You need to rethink when you're going to fit in your exercise. Maybe you have new family commitments. Maybe your work schedule's changing. Maybe you get pregnant. Maybe, I don't know. There's lots of things that could come up. So don't just say, oh, well, now I can't do the thing anymore. Just see each season as a season and then move into the next one, but always making exercise a priority. For example, this past summer, my husband, he bought me basically access to this fitness class where we did weightlifting as a group. It was so fun. But the thing about it is we live in the country. It takes me 30 minutes to get to this class, and you have to get there early to set up your weights, and then it's an hour-long class, and then it's 30 minutes home. So this is like, it becomes, I don't know, a 2.5-hour process. So in the summer, we had the flexibility, we had some daycare, and it was a great motivator for a season for me to get back into more heavy weights, to be with people, seeing them accomplish their fitness goals. I loved having a trainer lead the class, but I recognize now, moving back into school, that it's just not practical. And as much as I wish I could do that, I'm not feeling bad about not going. I'm just seeing this as, oh, that was a great season. It kicked my butt into gear. It reminded me the benefits of weightlifting, and now I'm going to carry that over, keep the momentum I got into this season of going back to my home gym where it's a 1-minute walk, less than that, to my garage. So don't get hard on yourself if you were doing great for a season and then you need to shift gears. Be adaptable. You can do this. You are a powerful, smart woman, and I know that you can find different options. And then also, I will say that if you are doing something that you just really don't like, then don't feel like you need to keep doing it. If you start a workout program and you get bored, then do a different workout program. I can't even tell. I don't think I've told my fit moms this, that I don't think I've ever fully completed a Beachbody workout subscription. Like, I belong to the Beachbody On Demand, and I don't think I've ever done a complete program because I kind of get bored. And so I'll do it for a while and I'll go to something else. But the point is, I am exercising regularly and I am constantly thinking, okay, is what I did today making me stronger, or am I losing muscle mass? Because the reality is, when you hit your 30s, it's either one or the other. If you aren't building, then you're probably losing, and you're starting to notice your body composition feel fluffier, we'll just say, if you're not building muscle. So I highly encourage you to consider that every single day. Like, am I doing something to make me healthier and stronger today, or am I not? All right, the next piece of advice I want to give for exercise is to have accountability and support. Maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your kid, maybe it's your best friend. Hopefully you're joining us next week in Arise, where you can start to develop those relationships. And then even more so, I would love to have you in our Fit Moms communities, where again, I'll just remind you that in Fit Moms Academy, you get access to the whole course that walks you through kingdom-minded weight loss, and you get a community of support in a Facebook group. And then if you want to work with me, if you want to work with these incredible women inside of Fit Moms Accelerator, we're doing a deep dive, 6 months. We are basically helping you to transform into a healthy lifestyle, to relay those health foundations without any of the decision fatigue or mind drama, because I'm there to help you along the way. Whatever you decide, find your people. Don't try to do this alone. That's very biblical to not think that you can do things on your own, right? So share your goals with friends or family, have people you meet up with, have people you're in conversation with, have people you're doing the heart work with, because if you've struggled for a long time with your weight or making health a priority, there is heart work that needs done. We need to help you to walk further in identity of who you were created to be. All right, next, I have been doing this practice more recently, and it's really cool. And some of our Gals and Fit Moms Accelerator have talked about a similar concept as well, but this whole idea of the mind-body connection. And as you are exercising, I encourage you to think about how incredible the body is and to really be attuned to what it is doing. You know, the other day I was running and I was thinking about each part of my body from the feet up, and how I was thanking God that I have feet that, you know, I have big feet, you guys. My shoes are size 10 or 11. I don't hardly ever wear like high heels, and yeah, it's just like big feet in a little shoe. Not for me. But I was just thanking God that I have these strong feet that carry me when I run. And I was thanking God that my knees aren't aching. And I was thanking God that I have muscles on my legs that help me to run up this hill. You know, and so you can just go through the whole gamut and really connect to what your body's doing. Maybe as you are stretching after a workout, you can think about how your joints, they move in such a way that's really incredible. And even if you have some sort of injury or something hurts, maybe just praying over that and just praying, you know, God, like restore these cells, restore the functionality. Thank you for these other parts of me that are good and working well. And even the parts that hurt, they are good and you made them, and just declaring wholeness over them. All right. The last thing I will say is do not forget to celebrate your progress as you go. Maybe you do complete a workout program. Throw a party with your kids and they can celebrate with you, even if they think mom's crazy. You know, do a dance party. Celebrate when you see the scale move. Celebrate when you can do a pull-up or you do a push-up or 10 or 20. Tell your husband, and hopefully he'll celebrate right along with you. Tell your friends, and don't be afraid to tell them the good things in your life. It can seem like bragging, but especially like the people that are close to you, they want to hear about your life and celebrate with you. So you can say something like, hey, do you mind if I tell you something that I'm really proud of? Because I just want to declare good things over my life and to celebrate what God is doing. And then tell them whatever that good thing is and decide how you want to celebrate. But don't skip over this. When I think about all, our kids growing up and time seeming like it is endlessly just passing by quickly, celebrating and enjoying those small moments along the way, even if they seem silly, I think that it helps to slow down time. It helps us to see things through the lens of heaven. And if you look in the Bible, there were a lot of parties and celebrations about the things God had done in their life. And that includes for you the changes that you are making physically. Okay, I hope this episode encouraged you today. I hope that you feel ready and equipped. Go back and listen. You can take out a pen and take notes, but I hope you feel ready and equipped to make exercise a regular pattern. Maybe you're just getting back into the swing of things, but it will benefit you so much. And I'm so proud of you for being here. Don't forget that this entire week we are helping you to arise, to step into a higher version of you, health-wise, spiritually, and beyond, so that you can share the glory of God here on this earth in every area of your life. And if you are all in, if you're with me, if you're like, yes, Kelsey, that is what I want, then you are not going to want to miss out next week on our 3-day intensive, Arise. It's only $47. You get lots of time hanging out in our community, breaking through those parts of you that have been stuck, that have been hiding, that have been slumbering, so that they will awaken and you can live life the way that God intended. Love you all. Thanks for hanging out today. Hey Fit Mom, if this episode blessed you today and you can think of somebody else who's struggling in her weight loss journey, would you consider sharing this week's episode with her to give her a sense of hope? And then while you're at it, hop on over to our free Facebook community, Kingdom Fit Moms, for daily encouragement and support. Let's go shed the weight to shine the light.